Now, this series reading is going to be about Nicki Minaj and Kendrick Lamar and her thoughts about, the Kendrick and Drake beef and just how they feel as one another actually, and if we'll ever get a collaboration of them together. Because I really always wanted to ask this question and just know why haven't we gotten one yet. So let's just get right into it. Okay. So let's see. How does Nicki feel about Kendrick? And then we're gonna go from there and see how she feel about the beef. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Kendrick Lamar? How does Nicki Minaj feel about Kendrick Lamar? She definitely sees him as an innovative person who is always, 2 steps, 3 steps ahead, who knows how to expand his vision and who really is passionate about this game. She sees him as someone who is passionate about this and who knows, his way with words and who has, a way with words and who knows his way around everything. He plays the game how it should be played. She sees him as someone who is, confident in himself, who has this passion for all this, and who is energetic enough to make all the shit that he wants come true. She definitely sees him as someone who could be, like a great potential for a collaboration. But due to, her friendships and her circle, she is not acting on that just yet. But let's see. Yeah, she's not acting on that as yet. She definitely sees him as someone who can be, rebellious against the true actual like rules or natures of the industry, of certain industries. But she definitely sees him as someone who can guess a little. It's like she sees right through him because she's like, we're the same thing, or like we are two faces or like two sides of the same coin. So she sees that too. She can see kind of through his facade because she sees him as someone who will cause a rise in the industry, but at the same time who will not do it just so abruptly that it will make him lose or miss out on everything just yet, because she knows how the public, or how much of, like the culture, the hip-hop lovers and everything, how much their love means to him. So therefore she is like, I see right through you. She definitely sees him sometimes as someone who can be like a bit too conceited, or like sometimes like a narcissistic, damn borderline narcissistic sometimes. But she definitely sees him as someone who is, sharp, witty, who has a little tongue on him, who knows how he's saying it, what he's saying and how he's saying it and how he's displaying it. So, she's seen him as someone who can be like a good investment and who is a good investor as well. But she doesn't see him as someone who can be deceitful, as someone who, sometimes does things his way, or like sometimes cannot be trusted because like, look at how he's doing this, or like why he's doing this and everything. She only sees him as someone who can be a bit of a ruse, because the moment that you cross him and he's dissatisfied with you, he's going to go at it with you. She sees him as someone who can be like impulsive, and as someone who really messes around the truth, or just tiptoes around this until he wanna put this on blast. So it's like, if I gotta be around him, I gotta be on my toes, on my tens. I gotta have it all right there with him. She really does seem as someone who can be like harmful, who is angry, harmful sometimes, with everything that he's doing. He was always, at the top of his game. So she sees that. She definitely respects the hustle. She definitely respects, how far he has come from the past until now. She definitely sees him as someone who is, deep into the competition now, who is restless now, who is having kind of like a goal to achieve and a lots of points to prove. So, yeah, her outlook on him is like everybody's outlook on him. She's seen him that way, but it's like, I see right through you, you know? I just gotta see what I gotta see. I'm gonna keep it to myself because there is no use in saying that. But she only sees him as this brilliant, talented artist. Now, let's see how does Nicki Minaj feel about the Kendrick and Caro. Ooh, I'm sorry. The Kendrick and Drake beef. Oh my god. How does Nicki Minaj feel about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef? That's crazy. Why you said the Kendrick and Caro? That's something. Cause why would I say that? Where's the car that flipped over? Oh, bitch. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Let's see. Oh well. she definitely, she definitely saw how this has caused an uproar, and it's like she's conflicted between, it's like, the brotherhood is what I'm hearing. Bitch, what's fucking brotherhood? Sorry, the brotherhood that she's sharing with Drake, and how brilliant this shit is, and how tacky some of the show was. She's definitely seen this as an opportunity that's kind of like revived hip hop in some ways, and definitely kind of like puts on a stronger type of engine in the rear of the rap game, or just hip hop in general, because it's like it wasn't going that good. So now it's just kind of this beef and everything has given hip hop kind of like a surge, where people now are more tuned into this, and people now are going to kind of just like go out of their way to prove this, like they got it, and they can go at it at the same amount and the same level. So it's like she sees how that was. She definitely spoke to Drake about this, which made her even more conflicted and just made her kind of feel indecisive, because like, I know you always were into some shady shit and everything. So this comes to no surprise for her, but like she didn't know the depth of how this was, and like how far along this was, or how deep into shit he was. So this for her was like, damn. It definitely came as a surprise, because like I had some sorts of ideas, some sorts of insights on this, but not to that extent. But she definitely did see this as a type of like resurgence, because like it was long overdue. Somebody was out to get him. Her thoughts process, like somebody was out of you know somebody was going to get him, regardless of whatever it is, like regardless of whoever it is. It just took a strong opponent in order for him to kind of like face him, or in order for him to kind of like kick him down a notch, or kick him down a wait, what is the word, kick him down off his high horse, because he can see that this has caused a lot of conflicts, and this has caused a lot of reverse type of shit on Drake, and she knows firsthand how does that feel. But at the same time, it's like nobody was there for me when shit like this happened to me. So what should I really say? Like, she didn't say much, but she definitely stood by him, and he performed as her tour and whatnot. But yeah, it was something alongside like, okay, let me just keep my silence on this and keep my peace, but I am just going to show my support throughout this. However, I will keep my real actual thoughts to myself, because it's like I can't say much about it, because I'm in no better position. But at the same time, it's like I know what I know, but I'm not going to act on what I know. She's agreeing to basically like disagree and keep the peace. But let's see, what did Nicki Minaj actually think of Kendrick's side of the beef? Like her his records, his songs, and everything. She looks not like us, because she was bopping to that and bumping that. Let's see, how did Nicki Minaj feel about that? She's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say much about it. I'm not gonna speak on this, because it's like it's not my business, not my place to say something. And there is that too. Let's see, how did Nicki Minaj feel about his side of the deal? It's like, okay, she sees where both are coming from, but at the same time, it's like, is it just a money grab, or were you just wanting to do this? Like, did you want to prove yourself? Yeah, she definitely sees this as, him wanting to prove himself, and him just also, well, not just prove himself, was actually like speak his truth, because she saw how clear minded and sharp was he with his words, with his bars, with his verses. She definitely actually sees the real potential off of this and out of this also. She sees his passion for this, and she knows that he's not just doing this to kind of like show off. It's like her first initial thoughts is like, okay, are you doing this to show off, or just like, are you let me just not say much about it. But as the beef continues to kind of like grow and more, because like she sees those songs as gems. Like, the more songs Kendrick dropped, the more she was bopping to that, and the more she saw like his full potential and how he is like versatile in his shit. So she definitely like those. She liked all of those. She has a certain preference to not like us and meet the grams though. Like she likes those a lot because those are the ones I am hearing in my head. And Lord knows I don't listen to meet the grams because talking about dead people and everything. I have a slight, just something because of that. But yeah, she definitely saw, sorry, the potential there, and she saw how he can talk with that man and how he can stand him. So she was like, I'm gonna steer out of this, but I definitely enjoyed how, like the verbal battle. She enjoyed the verses, she enjoyed the bar, she enjoyed like the discussions around this because, like, she's very passionate about hip hop and the genre as a whole. So for her, this was such a beautiful opportunity for all this to, like bloom and stem from there, even though like the circumstances were not the brightest and were not the best, and also some of those discussions and subjects were not the best and brightest, which made her very disappointed in that man, by the way, because I'm seeing that. Yep. But she repressed her emotions and she is keeping her feelings to herself. Sorry, because like I'm not gonna say much about it because I don't trust that and I don't want to lose. It's like she doesn't want to lose Drake because of how, like, whatever fucking pull he has on her and whatever shit that he has on her. Like, we've gotten into that several times before, so I'm not gonna bother talking much about Drake and everything. So, yeah, she thoroughly enjoyed that, though. She thoroughly, like, enjoyed that. I'm telling you, like, she did enjoy that, but she's not gonna say much about it because she knows how it goes, and she is not going to want to face shit like that simply because it is not her battle, and simply because it is something that she is not going to just endure because it is not her fight, and she's not going to take part in this. But she showcased her support publicly to Drake by just him being on tour when shit like that was happening and her bringing him out too and everything, even though he don't seem surprising her that way, because after that shit kind of died a little bit down some more, he went back to his shenanigans and he went back to supporting other people and just supporting other people and never like acknowledging her anymore. So there is that. Now I do want to see how this Kendrick Lamar feels about Nicki Minaj. How does Kendrick Lamar feel about Nicki Minaj? Oh my god, grammar is whooping my ass this morning. Let's see. How does Kendrick Lamar feel about Nicki Minaj? Oh, that's a lot of points. Yeah. Oh, he definitely sees her as someone who is, rooted in the game. But even if he sees her as someone who is rooted in the game, he kind of sees right through her. So that means that he sees beyond what she is saying. He definitely frowns upon her choice. Yeah, he definitely frowns upon her choice of her husband. Okay, he basically kind of just like, out of all the niggas that you were with, out of all the men you dated, that was your end game. That's crazy. Because why is he thinking that too? Oh well. But yeah, he sees her as someone who is, sure of herself, who has left her impacts and like imprints on the rap game, who has opened lots of doors for the genre or like surrounding all this altogether, and who has affected males and females in the game, who has done a lot for them. And even though like he is acknowledging all that, he sees her as this brilliant person too, but he also sees her as someone who can be like impulsive, who can be catty, who can be jealous, who has gone through a lot. But it's like he sees her as someone who is going through a lot and who is always trying to prove herself, but like she's never going to gain some sort of satisfaction from this, because her biggest enemy and her biggest opponent that she is trying to prove herself to is not just others but also herself. So it's like he's like, no matter how hard you're trying, you're not going to just make that work or make that happen, simply because you are your own enemy and you are the one who is not satisfied with herself. So like he sees this as some sort of just like futile stuff, because you're doing all this and doing this and this and that, but you're not giving yourself that type of grace and just that type of movement to just do all this And even if she is, now it has gotten to the point of her just kind of like being possessive over her position, trying to just be so stubborn about it too, and just not really so welcoming. But he gets that because he saw like the jump from all this, and he saw that happen in real life. And there's something here about him just like psychoanalyzing people and just how they move and the reasoning behind a lot of their attitudes and lots of their behaviors. So he knows where is this stemming from, where are the insecurities stemming from, where are the issues stemming from, where are the challenges stemming from. And he sees like the it factors, the inner ones and the outer ones too in her life, which is crazy because like, you know, when you watch his interviews, you kind of like get his vision and like mindset on shit and how he thinks. So for him, he sees right through her the same way she sees right through him, you know. And he definitely sees her as someone who can be too impulsive. And I kept hearing like the Risk Taker song by Wine, you know, by Melly, YNW Melly. So that just shows his versatility when it comes to his taste in music. He definitely sees her as someone who is wanting to throw caution to the wind and just act impulsively, and who is not scared to shake shit up because he knows that she got the balls to back it up. So he sees all that. And he sees her sometimes as someone who can be like too cocky and too sure of herself, but beneath all that, there's a lot of anger about the unfairness that she has gone through, a lot of guilt over something, a lot of pent up hurt and pent up anger and frustration about the mistreatment that she has gotten over the years. So he gets where she's coming from. Now, I actually was recording this, and I recorded like over minutes of like the rest of the reading, but it got deleted because the phone just paused that. But yeah, let's get more on how did he see her, because I literally jumped to, you know, like whoever gets a collaboration, but I didn't pay attention and saw that they were, you know, like the audio was paused. But let's see how does Kendrick Lamar feel about Nicki Minaj. He sees her as a strong contender for a collaboration together because he knows that, you know, she's going to bring out the best of him and vice versa. But at the same time, he sees her as someone who has done lots of stuff and who is living with lots of regrets. But he sees her as someone who is also passionate about the game and who is energetic enough to actually be toe in toe, literally like toe to toe, bar for bar, verse for verse, word for word with him. He sees her as somebody who is very extremely lyrical, who knows what she's doing, sometimes to the point of him knowing that sometimes she's saying shit on purpose and doing shit on purpose to inflict pain and regretful emotions on others. He definitely sees her as someone who can be a bit of a manipulator and a mind fuck person, because, you know, like she will literally manipulate someone if she finds their weaknesses. And for him, it's like if she smells your weakness, you're dead means you're gone. You know, like it's game on if she sees that. So yeah, he sees her as someone who will inflict some hurt on other people just so they can live in her shoe, or like live in her shadow, or just literally like walk in her shoe. So for him, it's like hurts people, and that is something that's kind of just like sometimes just turns him off of her, or like sets him off. But at the same time, he sees the hesitation and just like everything that's be looming around Nicki and how she cannot move on from the hurt that was caused to her back then. But he definitely does see her as somebody who can be extremely strategic and sneaky, and is sometimes tiptoeing around the truth too. So the same way that she sees him, he sees her under that light sometimes too. It's like, I see right through you. I know your game. I'm familiar with it. Which is crazy. But yeah, I was also asking, you know, why haven't they ever collaborated together? And I got that it was something that has to do with, you know, like loyalty and where the loyalty lies, and lots of outer factors as much as, you know, the inner factors that were there too. Because it's like, you know, there could be a possibility of them collaborating, or like they talked about that, you know, many times. She reached out to him, there was a lack of response, or even if they were going through that, she just falls through and just becomes stale and stagnant, and it is just scrap. Try again, it is just scrap. So at one point, just like, okay, let's stop that right there. Let's, you know, like cool off a bit. And then it's just there. I mean, she scored a J. Cole collaboration. She can definitely, you know, get a Kendrick Lamar collaboration if she wants to. And earlier on, I was just like meditating on this and everything, because sometimes when you just like set the intention on whatever you want to read on and everything, you just kind of starts getting downloads depending on how strong your intuition is and whatnot. But this type of collaboration, like it is not like could be one of those that she will literally be saving up for her last album, or one of those collaborations that she knows she's going to need to kind of like up the bar even more and just go toe to toe with the person, with him on this, and just really prove herself, and both of them, like, because both of them will challenge one another and bring out the best of one another. So therefore, they would need to be prepared for all that. This is one of the collaborations that would be like, for her last album, or just, for all that, because like, oh, everybody says that they need a collaboration with me and Lamar, so might as well just give them that at the end. But that could depend though, because it can either go really well and they could collaborate together, or they will not, and it will just say that it will just say kind of like a wish that has been unfulfilled, or a wish that has never come true. So yeah, will they ever collaborate together? That is something left for them, because it's like, okay, we need to collaborate together, and it is something that will bring like the culture together even more. It is something that will create like a loss of chaos if that will happen, because both of them will literally be strong lyrical beats even more on the beat, and both of them will literally have to deliver, because even though they're going to be like neck and neck there, they will always want to be just like better than one another, and both of them have that competitive streak and just wanting to be best and perfect and everything, so that would really push them to be foolish and push them harder, just because they will have several points to prove. And it could be one of those, it will be one of those like features and songs that will still be discussed for years to come, just like her monster verse and the monster song. Because if this could ever happen, he will literally bring out Roman, he will literally bring out like her beast side of the lyrical, witty, savage, theatrical side of her, because both of them will have those theatrics, both of them will just have all that shit, and will have a lot of shit to say. I'm the best, and like all that stuff, and a lot of puns, lots of puns, punchlines, bar for bar, verse for verse, word for word, line for line, even like a back and forth in that shit. Like they would go at it for like the whole song. I was gonna say like for years, but let's not push it. But yes, both of them will literally have to do that, but it all depends, because it is like a mixture of yes and no. So I just did like, if it was a yes, how will that be, and if it was a no, why are we not going to get that? So if it is a yes, both of them will literally balance out each other so well in the song. It is going to create so much fucking hype. It will literally like bring out a whole fucking like rebirth and renaissance and like research, however the fuck you want to call it, to the game, because it will be discussed for years to come. It will be one of the best songs throughout this whole decade and whatnot, if it is the case. It will make us a lot of money for them, and it will be such a smart business move for both, because everybody, like every hip-hop lover or every hip-hop head, wants that shit. But if it's a no, then it's because they don't see shit the same way. They don't see eye to eye. Lots of challenges. They don't talk. Lots of this was happening or will not be happening because of them not talking and them just not being in the same wavelength, and both of them just like not coming together, or them just being in different wavelengths of their lives and where they're at, and if this is truly like needed from one of them or like from both of them. So it's like, I'm doing my shit, you're doing your own shit too, so there is no need for us to do all that. But will we actually ever like ever, because I really do want a collaboration, but will we actually ever truly really get the Nicki Minaj and Kendrick Lamar collaboration? It's gonna be like in NM 6, NM 7, if there is a 7. That's what I said, like literally, oh my god, like literally one of her lastest albums that are out there, or that will be out there, because I'm gonna leave with the band, bitch. I'm talking like Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Kanye West, like 50 Cent. Lots of random names are coming through, like the bigger heads in hip hop, and just having that type of like cultural impact, like I've had all those big names in my first album. I will have some of them in my last album too. But I mean, Jay-Z, like, let's not push it. Will we ever get to the Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z collaboration since we're at it? Fuck, even Eminem. There is a possibility that could be there. But as I was saying, we could, yeah, that could be there. But, yeah, this could happen. Oh my god. We could, for real, get, like a Nicki Minaj and Kendrick Lamar collaboration in the far future. This one moment, they could even, let's see, before I say something, let's see if it, yeah, they could even like do a swap of collaborations, like I collaborate with you and everything on your album. I do that in my, you do that in my album too, for my album too. So as I said, like if they would actually like talk and just have a proper conversation and whatnot, besides, like the appreciation that they both have for one another and for their crafts and for their works, because they really do appreciate one another, regardless of like their personal opinions of one another and everything. He holds her in like high regards, and he sees her as, a beast in her own lane, in her own game. So does she. So it's like, mutual appreciation, but like lots of outer effects that are kind of like affecting all this together. But they could be down for a collaboration when all those boundaries are just like not there, and when they want to really like make that shit work. Because if they want to make that shit work, nothing is going to stop them, because they're literally like the fucking same. Nothing is gonna fucking stop them from just like doing what they want to do. But until then we are just gonna sit there and sit idly by until we see if they will actually like make that work. And they will, because taking action, manifesting, making that work. I've always wanted to collaborate with you. I've always wanted to do that. It's an honor. Trust me, the pleasure is all mine. Being respectful about it, talking shit, then having fun with it, then just like doing the most, and then scoring the collab, and just like enjoying all that. And something about like this being like hard rapcore. Whoa, yeah, hard rapcore, or also like hardcore rap as well. And just something that has to do with like, okay, show me why you're so passionate about this. Show me where your head actually lies. Show me this and this and that. And both of them just like showcasing their abilities to one another and flexing that shit and just like doing something really good. But that could be, in the long future, because up till now it's not gonna be in there. But there could be a strong, very strong possibility of them collaborating together towards like the end of one's career, and something that has to do with like leaving a legacy and actually like doing something that is so much more worth it than just something that is not there. So yeah, I'm happy about the possibility of us actually like getting a fucking Nicki collab, because oh my god, that would be so fucking dope. Ugh, I wish we can get another Eminem and Nicki collaboration too, because that shit would be fire. Like Romance Revenge, Majesty, hello. But yeah, this was the Nicki Minaj and Kendrick Lamar reading and how everything is. And I hope it was insightful and useful. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate that. And may we meet in another reading. Bye bye.